Hey, let me ask you something. Have you ever been in that situation where everything feels like it's going perfectly with a girl, and then out of nowhere, she starts acting distant? Maybe she's not texting as much, canceling plans, or just seems off, and you can't help but wonder what's happening. Trust me, I've been there, and I know exactly how easy it is to panic and start overthinking, asking yourself, what did I do wrong? But here's the thing. Most guys handled this situation completely wrong, and all it does is push her even further away. Instead of making things better, they end up making the distance worse. That's exactly why today, I want to break down the 5 biggest mistakes that men make when a girl pulls away, and more importantly, show you how to handle it the right way to turn things around. Mistake 1. Panicking and becoming needy. One of the most significant mistakes you can make in a relationship is panicking and becoming needy. It's a natural reaction when you feel like things might be slipping away or when you sense distance, but here's the thing, it's a huge red flag and it almost always backfires. You know what I'm talking about, the overwhelming urge to bombard her with texts like, "Is everything okay?" or "Did I do something wrong?" Or maybe you start pulling on her emotions, trying to guilt her into spending time with you, making her feel like she's obligated to reassure you. Here's the problem. Neediness is one of the most unattractive traits you can display. It doesn't matter how much you care or how much you want her to notice you. It's the energy of desperation that pushes her away. When you're constantly seeking validation, it reflects a lack of self-confidence, and that's a major turnoff. Confidence is one of the most powerful qualities that attracts people, especially women. They are naturally drawn to individuals who have a strong sense of self-worth and who can stand on their own without needing constant reassurance or attention. When you act needy or clingy, it not only makes you appear insecure, but it also creates a sense of pressure for her. Instead of feeling free to engage with you in a relaxed, fun, and spontaneous way, she might start to feel like she's walking on eggshells, always worried about how her actions will affect your emotional state. The more you chase her validation, the more she might start to withdraw, creating an even greater sense of distance. So, what's the solution? Stay calm, collected, and independent. Instead of focusing on her every move, focus on your own life, passions, and interests. When you're confident and self-assured, you're much more likely to keep her interested and engaged. Remember, attraction grows when there's space for it to develop naturally, not when it feels forced or dependent. Keep your cool and you'll find that she's far more likely to come to you rather than the other way around. What should you do instead? Breathe. Give her space. I know it's hard, but pulling back shows her that you're calm, secure, and not fazed by her pulling away. Trust me, this alone can make her rethink her behavior. Mistake 2. Overanalyzing everything. The second big mistake many people make in relationships is overanalyzing every little detail. You know the drill. You replay every conversation in your mind 1,000 times, examining every word, every pause, wondering if there was some hidden meaning behind her text, or trying to decode whether her latest Instagram story was a subtle message directed at you. It's like a never-ending loop of overthinking that only serves to drive you crazy. Here's the thing. Overthinking is not only exhausting, but it's also counterproductive. It drains your energy and mental focus, and most importantly, it doesn't get you any closer to understanding her true intentions. In fact, overanalyzing often leads to overcompensating. You might find yourself sending long-winded messages, trying to clear the air, over-explaining things, or behaving in ways that just don't feel authentic. Instead of bringing you closer to her, it pushes you further away because it can come off as needy or insecure. So, what should you do instead? Shift your focus back to yourself. Stop wasting mental energy obsessing over every little detail and redirect that energy into improving your own life. Whether it's working on your personal goals, diving deeper into your hobbies, focusing on your fitness, or nurturing friendships, find things that make you feel fulfilled and happy. When you invest time and effort into things that bring you joy and satisfaction, you'll find 2 important things happen. You stop giving her the power to control your emotional state. When you're constantly overanalyzing, you give her an immense amount of power over your thoughts and feelings. By focusing on your own life and well-being, you take that power back and start to regain control over your own emotions. You become more attractive. When you have your own fulfilling life outside of the relationship, it's magnetic. It shows that you're not dependent on her for your happiness or validation. You're living life to the fullest, and you have a strong sense of self that doesn't revolve around her. This not only makes you more intriguing, but it also builds an element of mystery and independence that is incredibly appealing. The key here is balance. Instead of spending all your time obsessing over her every move, focus on becoming the best version of yourself. This will make you more grounded, confident, and ultimately more attractive. And guess what? When you're focused on your own life, you'll find that you naturally become less preoccupied with her behavior. And that, in turn, often leads to a healthier, more balanced connection between the two of you. Mistake 3. Trying to fix things too soon. When a girl pulls away, it's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that the solution is to do something grand to win her back. You might tell yourself, if I just plan a special date, send a heartfelt message, or shower her with compliments, everything will go back to normal. In your mind, fixing things means taking action, maybe even over-the-top action, to make her see how much you care. But here's the hard truth. Trying to fix things too soon often makes everything worse. Why? Because it comes across as forced and desperate. Attraction is not something that can be negotiated or coerced. It's not about persuading someone to feel a certain way by putting on a show or saying all the right things. When you try too hard to force things back to how they were, it not only feels unnatural, but it can also create unnecessary pressure. Instead of rebuilding the connection, you risk making things more awkward, which pushes her even further away. So, what's the alternative? Give her the space she needs to process her feelings. Understand that sometimes when a girl pulls away, it's not necessarily because you've done something wrong. It might simply be that she needs time to reflect and sort out her emotions. She might be uncertain about her own feelings or trying to gain clarity about the relationship. The last thing you want to do is rush in and try to fix everything immediately. This can add stress and tension rather than providing the room for a natural resolution. Instead, focus on giving her the time and space to process her thoughts. During this time, it's crucial to focus on being the best version of yourself. Invest in your own growth, take care of your own emotional needs, and make sure that you're pursuing your goals and passions. When you're busy living your life, not only do you stop coming across as desperate, but you also create a sense of distance that allows her to miss you. When she sees that you are okay without constantly trying to fix things, it creates an emotional void that makes her realize what she's missing. It's this absence, combined with the growth you've been showing, that often makes her reconsider her feelings and potentially come back to you on her own. Attraction is at its strongest when it's allowed to develop naturally, without pressure or manipulation. By stepping back, you give her the space to miss you and the opportunity to reconnect in a more genuine way. Mistake 4. Becoming overly reactive to small things. Let's dive into a topic that's all too familiar in relationships: jealousy. It's a natural human emotion, but when it takes the driver's seat, it can quickly lead to mistakes that damage attraction. Imagine this. She starts pulling away, and suddenly you notice her liking another guy's posts on Instagram or mentioning that she's hanging out with someone new. Your first instinct might be to confront her, demanding an explanation, or worse, you start acting out of jealousy, maybe even becoming passive-aggressive or distant in return. Here's the reality. Reacting to these small things makes you appear insecure. When jealousy takes over and you begin questioning her actions or the attention she's giving to other people, it sends a clear message. I don't feel good enough for you. Insecurity is a massive turnoff. Women are naturally attracted to men who are confident in themselves and don't feel threatened by others. The more you react to these seemingly small issues, the more you undermine your own self-worth in her eyes. Now, don't get me wrong, jealousy is a normal feeling, but it's all about how you handle it. If you let it control your actions, it can lead to unnecessary drama and even push her away. Reacting out of jealousy shows that you're emotionally dependent on her for validation, and this can create tension in the relationship rather than fostering trust and security. So, what should you do instead? The key is to stay calm and unbothered. When you feel jealousy creeping in, take a moment to pause and reflect. Don't act on the impulse to confront or lash out. Instead, remind yourself of your own worth and value. When you maintain your composure and don't let jealousy dictate your behavior, you send a powerful message. You're showing her that you're confident in yourself and that her actions, no matter what they are, won't shake your sense of self. You become the kind of man who is so self-assured that you don't even see competition because you know there's no one who can replace you. By staying calm, you're demonstrating emotional maturity and strength, qualities that are incredibly attractive. When she sees that you're not the type to be rattled by trivial things, it can actually increase her respect for you and deepen her attraction. She'll notice that you're a man who has his life together, who doesn't need constant reassurance, and who values himself independent of external factors. Mistake 5. Sacrificing your standards to keep her interested. Now, let's talk about one of the most dangerous mistakes you can make when a girl pulls away, sacrificing your self-respect in a desperate attempt to keep her interested. It's a pattern many guys fall into when they feel that distance growing. When she starts to pull back, they go into full-on people-pleasing mode. Maybe they cancel their own plans, agree to things they're not comfortable with, or let her disrespect them, thinking this will somehow win her back. But here's the harsh reality. The moment you stop respecting yourself, she stops respecting you too. When you allow yourself to be walked over or compromise your values just to keep her around, you're sending the message that you don't value your own worth. Respect is the foundation of any healthy relationship. Without it, there can be no attraction or lasting connection. Women want to be with a man who stands firm in his values, who knows his worth, and who won't bend over backwards just to please them. Here's the truth. Sacrificing your self-respect never works in the long run. You may get short-term attention or temporary validation, but you won't build a strong, lasting attraction. What you're doing is building resentment within yourself, and it will eventually show. When a woman sees that you're willing to compromise your self-respect just to keep her, it might make her feel in control, but it won't make her admire or desire you. Instead, it will lead to her losing respect for you, which is the kiss of death for attraction. So what should you do instead? Hold your ground. If she's pulling away without offering you any explanation or clarity, it's not only okay for you to pull back as well, it's necessary. You don't have to chase after her or beg for her attention. If she cancels plans or becomes distant, don't immediately try to reschedule or go above and beyond to accommodate her. This only reinforces the idea that you'll drop everything for her. Instead, match her energy. If she's distant or cold, don't overcompensate by being extra attentive. Keep your cool and show that you're not desperate for her approval. Set clear boundaries and stick to them. A man with high standards doesn't tolerate being disrespected. He knows what he brings to the table and expects to be treated with the same respect he gives. If she's not willing to meet you halfway, then you have no obligation to keep putting yourself in a situation where you're constantly chasing after her or making compromises that make you uncomfortable. A high-value man doesn't chase people who don't value him. When you maintain your self-respect and stand firm in your standards, you attract women who appreciate and respect you for who you are. This kind of relationship, where both partners hold each other in high regard, is the kind of connection that lasts. Respect is magnetic, and when you show that you have boundaries and won't settle for less, it will naturally make her more interested and drawn to you. In the end, the worst thing you can do when a girl pulls away is panic, overanalyze, or lose yourself in the process. Instead, stay calm, confident, and true to your own worth. Remember that attraction isn't something you can force or manipulate. It's something that naturally develops when you value yourself and maintain your self-respect. By focusing on your own growth, maintaining your boundaries, and staying true to your values, you create a strong foundation for any relationship to thrive. Respect is magnetic, and when you demonstrate it toward yourself, others will be drawn to that energy. If you found this advice helpful, make sure to subscribe for more insights on building healthy, confident relationships. If you've ever been in a situation like this or have tips of your own, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below and let's discuss how you handle moments when someone pulls away. Your feedback and experiences might just help someone else out there.